Okay, so we have covered a lot of smartphones under 15,000. Vivo T1, Moto G51, Moto G31. And majority of India buys smartphone around 15,000. And now there are a lot of new launches like Redmi Note 11s, Poco M4 Pro and realme 9 Pro. So we'll keep this video simple and clear for you. So best smartphone to buy? Around 15,000. First up, the Redmi Note 11s. It costs 16,499, but if you buy it from me.com, you get an extra 1,500 discount on exchange. So this will make the pricing even lower. And one thing you might have noticed, it's 2022 and Xiaomi is still releasing 4G phones. Well, 4G phones have their own advantages and disadvantages. We'll come to that in a moment. But first up, Redmi Note 11s has one of the best displays in this entire list. You get a 90Hz AMOLED display in this range, and this is nice. And this is just to show you for demo. Here's how an LCD display looks beside Redmi Note 11s AMOLED display under bright sunlight. Now this is just to compare LCD versus AMOLED under bright sunlight. Now AMOLED also has some cons, but for watching movies and media, AMOLED is really good. Now Xiaomi is one of the few phones to give stereo speakers in this range, and hands down it is better than single speakers. And since this is a 4G phone, it doesn't have that usual cost cutting like no fast charging, no ultra wide angle camera, etc, etc. Like you get 5000 mAh battery with 33 watt fast charging. You also get an ultra wide angle camera, plus Redmi Note 11s is the phone with the best camera in this entire list. Also, Redmi Note 11s comes with the latest MIUI 13, and not too confused, it still has Android 11, but it comes with MIUI 13. Now, the Xiaomi MIUI number is very confusing. They follow their own number scheme and it has nothing to do with Android version number. And MIUI brings me to the cons. Let alone Android 12, but MIUI 13 on Android 11 still has bugs. Like, see here, this is YouTube, and now I pull down the notification shade. You can see it is proper blurred. Now here, have a look. This is Prime Video, and now when I pull down the notification shade, oh, it's stuck. It's stuck and it's transparent. So this bug existed in MIUI since a long time and still haven't been fixed on Android 11. Also, you have the same proximity sensor issue. It works like 8 out of 10 times. So if you use it in day-to-day life and take calls, this proximity sensor call issue, this problem will occur. See, that's why we say we use all these phones on a daily basis, and you can even see comparison and unboxings anytime on the channel. So this is more of a practical day-to-day usage. So if your priority is camera, media consumption, the Redmi Note 11s is a good device. And whether you should buy a 4G phone or a 5G phone, we'll talk about it in just some time. Now the next phone is Vivo T1. Vivo T1 is Vivo's online series for performance. It's priced at 15,990, and you also get 1,000 rupees HDFC credit card and debit card discount, which brings the price to 14,990. Now at 14,990, Vivo T1 has Snapdragon 695 and it is a really powerful processor for the price. The game support for BGMI as well as Call of Duty is really good. And number two, Vivo is one of the few phones in budget to come with Android 12 straight out of the box. Like, good job Vivo on that. So because of Android 12, those small latest privacy features you will get on Vivo T1. Like camera and mic indicators are there when an app uses camera or microphone. Also, you don't have to provide exact location to every app. You can have an approximate location. So these small things that come with Android 12 are really good for user privacy. And hands down, this is a Vivo phone. So just like every phone, it has a plastic bag, but it feels the most premium and handy in this entire list. The in-hand feel of the device is really good. Now, of course, there are cons as well. Like number one, it's a 5G phone, but due to cost cutting, you only have two 5G bands. And number two, you also don't get an ultra wide angle camera, and the main and selfie camera is kind of meh. Like, let me take a selfie with Redmi 11s and Vivo T1. So you can see side by side, Redmi 11s is way sharper. So if you use it daily, these are the cons you would feel. But if you're someone who plays games for 1 to 2 hours, casual gaming, and you have a strict budget of 15,000, Vivo T1 is a good performance phone at 14,990. And also, the base variant is 4GB 128GB, so you get good base storage. Oh, fun fact, by the way, if you're looking to buy Vivo T1, you will soon get the rebranded version of it with similar specs but less price. So guess the name and keep an eye for that. So next up, Poco launched its Poco M4 Pro. It launched for 14,999 and you get additional HDFC debit and credit card discount of 1,000. That brings the price really low to 13,999. Now Poco M4 Pro is actually a rebrand of Redmi Note 11T. But you would be like, Pratik, this is a rebranded phone. Poco this, Poco that. But see, I agree, Poco M4 Pro is a rebranded phone, but it is cheaper than the Redmi Note 11T. So we can give it a pass. Number one, performance straight up at 13,999. The performance of Poco M4 Pro is good. MediaTek 810 is a good processor. It's a 6nm chip and heat management is really good. Also, the Poco M4 Pro is a 5G phone, so you get 7 5G bands, which is good for future proofing. Now, another good thing is being a 5G phone, you do get 90Hz LCD, which is quite expected from a 5G phone under 15,000. But Poco hasn't cut off on battery and charging. You get 5000 mAh battery and 33 watt charging. Also, you get a 50 megapixel main sensor plus an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. So now usually 5G phones under 15,000 come without wide angle camera or slow charging, but that's not the case with Poco M4 Pro. Now for the cons, it would come down to again MIUI. See, Redmi phones launch with MIUI 13, but at the same time, Poco phones launch with old MIUI 12.5 on the phone. Also, you will feel the same proximity sensor issue with Redmi phones on the Poco phone as well. Now, if you want a budget 5G phone, way less at 13,999, Poco M4 Pro is a good option. And let me know what do you think about Poco as a company. Now, Realme 9 Pro might be the most interesting launch of 2022. It launched for 17,999, but it's a Realme phone and offers keep coming. Like we bought it for 15,999. We got a 2,000 rupees discount. Now some might consider Realme 9 Pro to be a downgrade to Realme 8 Pro because you have Snapdragon 695 on Realme 9 Pro. But this is so funny. Qualcomm naming is really bad. Snapdragon 695 is a better chip compared to Snapdragon 720. Like Snapdragon 695 is around Snapdragon 750G, but Qualcomm has just run out of numbers. So performance on Realme 9 Pro is really good. Even the camera on Realme 9 Pro is really good. You get a 64 megapixel main sensor plus a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Now, not only the megapixels, but in real life, the photos come out good for a phone in this price range. You also get Android 12 right out of the box, and Realme UI 3.0 is really good. And as I said, if you get Android 12 right out of the box, in future, chances of getting more and faster updates increases. Also, you get 11 bands of 5G. So in terms of 5G, it is future proof. Now, the only con in Realme 9 Pro is a 120Hz LCD display. Realme 8 Pro had a 60Hz AMOLED, and due to 5G, Realme 9 Pro went with a 120Hz LCD. Now, it's not a bad LCD, but you know the difference between AMOLED and LCD. So overall, if you want a good powerful 5G phone with a good camera, I would recommend to extend the budget a bit and get Realme 9 Pro. Also, Realme has two phones upcoming. We have Realme 9 and Realme 9 SE, which is also very interesting. Make sure you subscribe to watch that interesting video. And in all the phones we talked about, you will see bloatware and recommendations. But if you want that clean Android software experience, you have very few phones, and Moto G51 is one of them. Moto G51 sells for 14,999, and the number one pro is you get that clean Android experience. There are zero bloatwares or recommendation. The whole UI experience is really clean. Now number two, the camera on Moto G51 is surprisingly very good. Like again, very few 5G phones under 15,000 come with an ultra wide angle camera. And we even did a video here comparing it to other 5G phones. The camera on Moto G51 is really good. Now, being a true 5G phone, Moto has 12 bands of 5G and you get all the important sensor. No cost cutting is done on the hardware, and you even get an NFC chip. So if you use cards in Google Pay, you can tap and pay using the Moto G51. Now, the only con in Moto G51 I can think of is it only comes with a 64GB variant. So for someone who wants a 128GB version, there is no option altogether. So if you need a stock Android phone under 15,000 with decent performance and camera, Moto G51 is a good option. So that was the list. If you guys have any question, let us know. We'll answer them for the next 1 hour after this video goes live. Also, if you want, we can have a comparison of 4G phone versus 5G phone under 15,000. But in short, 5G is going to be really game changing for India. And now, after the Indian government auction has been announced, it makes more sense to consider a 5G phone in 2022 if you're looking for a smartphone in long term. On that note, this is Pratik signing off. See you tomorrow.